Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 2 of In the Know. Just remember that In the Know is basically a political and informational platform where I'm giving you all different types of information, stuff that I feel that everyone needs to know. This episode, I want to talk about this government shutdown and this individual that I call Treacherous and Traitorous Trump.
Treacherous Trump.
Treacherous Trump. Treacherous and traitorous Trump. And the reason I say that, and when I say treacherous and traitorous, I also mean his Republican-backed base. And I've come to the conclusion that, for the most part, because I asked someone, I told them, I said, all Republicans cannot be racist. And that's true. They're not. But the elected official ones, it seems as if they all are. So I just wanted to put that out there in the very beginning. And now I want to talk about this treacherous Trump and this Republican Party that has basically put themselves and the party over God, country, and everything else.
Now, for those out there that hasn't been following the news and really don't know what's going on, how are they really doing that?
They're able to do that. Well, really, the Republicans are able to do what they're doing because people didn't go out and vote. So they voted enough for Democrats to take over the House, but they didn't vote enough for Democrats to take over the Senate. And so since Republicans still have control of the Senate, guess what? We have a government shutdown. And a lot of people don't realize it's not Donald Trump that has the government shut down. It's the Republican majority leader in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, is why the government is shut down. Because if he was to push forward a bill that's been passed by the House and was passed by the Senate previously, the government would be reopened. Even with Trump's threat, there's enough votes to override his threat. So people don't get misconstrued and thinking that this is just Trump that's got the government shut down. It's not. It's Mitch McConnell also. Because guess what? Even if Trump says he's not going to sign the bill, the forefathers who created the Constitution made it possible for things to be done without having the president's approval, and it's called a veto. If he doesn't want, if they really want the government open, the House passed a bill, the Senate passed a bill, the government says, the president says no, then they override his veto, plain and simple. But yet you have this majority in the U.S. Senate that refuse to have any type of reason to help people or what have you. And the thing that gets me is I look at people like Mitch McConnell, the majority leader in the Senate, and it makes me wonder about the people that actually elected him. Because for the most part, and this is from my understanding from what Miss Jeanette taught me, that was one of my high school government teachers, but what she taught me was that it was that basically there's 3 branches of government and each branch is equal. And so that's just in a simple term. She taught me a lot more, but I'm just going to leave it at that. But with this government shutdown, and it's like I said, before Trump was even elected, if this guy was elected, it was going to be chaos, confusion. And I'm not saying I'm a prophet or nothing, but I am saying that what I said did happen, and it's only going to get worse, because if people don't go out and vote in 2020, because that's the next time you can make a difference, and this guy is reelected and the Republicans still have the Senate and maybe take over the House, who knows? But if this guy's reelected, guess what? We're in for another 4 more years of this type of chaos that we've been going through ever since he took the oath of office. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about Traitor Trump. Yeah, Trump, this me, John Paul Scott. Tweet about me.
Veteran John Paul Scott.
Yes, I'm a veteran. I want you to, you can tweet on there and talk about, oh, he's a loser, oh, he's this, oh, he's that. Well, you know what? I speak truth to power, and you are a traitor, point blank. Your inner circle are traitors, because these people are basically doing what benefits them and only them. And when I say them, that includes that 1% of rich people and what have you. And the thing about it is they're doing it to the detriment of this country. And I try and tell people all the time, when I took that oath, when I joined the military, and it said, defend this country against foreign and domestic. Right now, the United States is we're trying to defend ourselves against a domestic terrorist. Really, I guess you could say he's a terrorist, but we're really trying to defend ourselves. This is that domestic part that they put into the Constitution, and to me, this stuff is pretty simple, straightforward. But when it comes to politics, it's almost as if the common sense and everything goes away, which I really don't understand. And for some people, it goes away, but you had those greats like John McCain. If you know who John McCain was, he was one of those people that he's just one of those people that the Republican Party should have tried to mold themselves into, because what the Republican Party has done now is just disgusting. And I would be disgusted. I couldn't even imagine considering myself to be a Republican.
But John McCain is a veteran also, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
He took a different oath than the different.
Well, you know what? Republicans. Yeah, you know what? I think he's absolutely right. Yeah, that would explain it, because right now a lot of people don't realize before you couldn't even think about going into Congress or being a president without having served time in the military, because once you take that job being the president, you become the commander-in-chief. And as we see right now with Donald Trump, who never served in the military and father did all kinds of stuff to keep him from going to the military, he has no inkling or idea. He has no integrity. He's not honest. And the thing about it is, this guy tells so many lies that he can't even keep up with his lies. And the people that lie with him can't keep up with him lying. So it's just crazy. But yeah, John McCain, I look at it this way, anybody that served time in the military, I will give them a benefit of the doubt to always do what's right.
Because they have a different kind of loyalty and respect, integrity, pretty much. Yeah.
When you got these people that's in Congress, and I'm not saying everybody in Congress shouldn't be there because they wasn't in the military. It's just what I'm saying is you shouldn't be able to be the president of the United States if you're going to be the commander in chief and not have served in the military. Bam. There you go. Because if you're supposedly the commander in chief, but you have no idea. This man, Donald Trump, he walks around talking about how he likes his generals and this and that. He talks about generals like they're toys. Really, you know what I'm saying? Because he talks about generals like they're toys.
They his G.I. Joes.
Yeah, the dude is off the charts. But we already knew Trump was off the charts. But I think he's going to take us to new levels. And like I was saying, with him he's really pushed the envelope so far because the Republicans having the House and the Senate. And this dude has done stuff, in my opinion, I would consider to be illegal. But guess what? They have their own rules and laws and so forth and so on. So it's just crazy. And speaking of treacherous Trump, what about his family members, Ivanka Trump?
What did she do?
Guess what? They have this program called economic zones or something.
Okay.
And while she's at the White House, she was doing some type of participation in it, which was a conflict of interest. And I'm thinking, okay, look at the things that her father has done. Why wouldn't you expect her to do something that would raise some type of conflict of interest? And if you haven't held her father to a certain standard, accountable, yeah. If you haven't held her father to be accountable, well, obviously she's going to figure, well, if they don't care about him, they ain't going to care about me. You know what I'm saying?
Have that untouchable mentality.
I'm telling you, man, it's just crazy, y'all. So, speaking of Trump again, I know y'all might be tired of me talking about Trump, but Trump is what's hot right now. As Wendy Williams would say, Trump is what's hot right now. And the reason this guy is hot is because you just don't know what this guy is gonna do. He's like a jack in the box. You just turn it and he's popping out, and anything pops out of his mouth. Anything he can think of pops out of his mouth. And man, I'm telling you, the dude says he's very intelligent and this and that, and people say he's a very smart person. He's very savvy. Well, I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. Maybe he could.
He's smart in what he know how to do.
Well, you know what? Yeah, that's what it is.
His business, he got that. He's smart in it. And you was talking about common sense earlier, but common sense is not common. It's like everyone does not have common sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But this guy, he has no common sense. And I look at there's other podcasts like Rush Limbaugh and all those other people doing their podcasts and stuff, praising Trump and this and that and encouraging the things that he do. They don't care about the government being shut down. They don't care at all. It is not affecting them any way whatsoever. And the thing about it is they probably got some family members that it's affecting, but they don't care about them either.
But they really worried about what Trump can do to them, like shutting down their business or something, or making sure they don't. See, most people are scared of, what he can do to them. But
yeah, that's true. But the thing about it is, it's just like Beto. When Beto O'Rourke was running for the Senate, when he said fear mongering, basically that's the same thing Trump is doing. When he started talking about border security and stuff like that, this dude is going against the grain, against all odds, against all statistical data and everything else. And he just wants a wall because he promised his constituents that he would get them a border wall and Mexico would pay for it. That's the only reason this dude wants a wall. That is it.
He want Mexico to pay for it? Do he want them to build it too?
More than likely. He did have employees at one of his sites that was undocumented, so they said. So, yeah, he probably do.
He's done a lot of things.
The thing about Trump, though, and I really do believe this, the thing about Trump, and I'm somewhat of a religious person, and the thing about Trump is this. He was born with a lot of money, born with lots of money, and he's always had money, and he's always gotten what he wants. And so guess what? He got that forbidden fruit. The thing that he should not have touched was becoming the president of the United States of America. It was something that was stuck in his head. He decided he was going to do it, and he didn't care about the consequences. He didn't care about people looking back into his lifestyle and his business dealings and everything else.
When you're untouchable, you don't worry about those things.
Well, the thing about it is we're about to see how untouchable he is because he bit that forbidden fruit, which is becoming the president of the United States, because that's an office, and I don't care what anybody say, that is an office that was created by God. Point blank. That's my opinion.